and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel, guys. And what a day it's been! What an absolutely incredible game of football. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of overcome with emotion right now. You know, it's been an emotionally draining week. We've had some really rough moments, of course, in the Champions League just a few days ago. But to bounce back in this way, I mean, it's extraordinary. And to bounce back again like we had to do after the start that we had to this game. And not only that, it was incredible moments out there, incredible goals. But at the same time, I guess I'm kind of stunned at that refereeing performance. I am staggered by some of the things that we've seen out there today, and that's why we have to discuss it all right here. So get yourselves comfortable. There's going to be a lot to get through, but in the end, we have done it. We have gotten the win that we have needed, and we are so close now to the league title, guys. It is a day to celebrate, so come on, and let's do this. Because indeed, guys, if we start right here with the lineup that we saw from Hansi Flick, and I thought even that was very interesting, because obviously what we saw there was exactly the same team that faced Inter in midweek, of course, that went through that heartbreak, that actually started that game not brilliantly, let's be honest. Flick there very much keeping the faith in those players and making sure that we went again. We had to get our heads up. We had to find a way to bounce back. And that's exactly what we did. But we didn't start well. You know, yet again here, guys, it was not a good start at all from Barca. And well, let's kick off then with that Real Madrid opening goal from Mbappe inside of 5 minutes. I mean, it was a disaster start. There's no other way to describe that there, because what happens here? Real Madrid look to play the ball in behind. Now, Mbappe, he is definitely in an offside position there. As of that moment, he is clearly offside. But apparently there, because the ball is not meant for him, the referee judges that Mbappe doesn't interfere in play. He's not involved in that phase of play. And once Kubasi there, he does make an error. He does make a mistake there. He gets to the ball first and it actually comes off him. The referee then judges that starts a new phase of play, and Mbappe is then in. Would you say maybe that Mbappe's position, it influences Pau Kubasi, you know, to actually force him there into an error? I think that's possible. But what we can say is Szczesny absolutely wipes him out. Now, he's done this on several occasions this season, whereby it's almost like he sees the ball, he sees an opening, he just goes for it. There's no thought in his mind. It is 100% conviction, and it's great and terrible. You know, it can either be brilliant or it can be awful. And right here, he gets it all wrong. It's a clear penalty kick. And even the penalty itself, Mbappe here, it's at a good height for Szczesny. He actually nearly gets something on it there. Very, very close. But Real Madrid, inside of 5 minutes, they have the lead in this game. What happened then was that it got even worse. And again, this is another very, very contentious decision. This is one of the big ones here for me early on, because Lamine, he is fouled. Now, admittedly, there might not be the biggest contact ever. It might not be the worst foul that you've ever seen. But when you watch the replay here, when you really zone in on it, Valverde makes clear contact with Yamal. He is fouled in the build-up to the goal. The VAR see it. You know, they go back to that moment. We know how far they go back and look for things. They should see that. And this goal should be disallowed. But obviously Real Madrid, they get in behind, and again, it's too easy for them. Vinicius there with the outside the foot pass into Mbappe. He's got so much time, so much space, all the time in the world to just tuck it there past Szczesny. And inside of 15 minutes, we are 2-0 down. And at this point, and especially as well, given what happened in midweek, given that we were wondering, you know, if Barca got it in their locker, can they really go again? Do they have the energy for this game? So many doubts were in our minds. You know, so many of us early in this game here were fearing the worst. We couldn't come back again, could we? We couldn't find it within ourselves to make yet another extraordinary comeback. We've got to stop doing this. We've got to stop doubting this team, because every single time, somehow, some way, they can do it. Because would you like to know the Barcelona player who really ramped up the comeback vibes? Would you like to know the man that kicked it all off? It was Gerard Martin. Because I've got to say, when he hit this, I flew out of my seat. I couldn't believe the strike here from Martin. The ball is bouncing. He makes absolutely perfect contact. This is the purest strike that you will see. And I thought it was going in. Courtois here has to make an absolutely wonderful reflex save to deny Martin on the volley. Would have been one of the goals of the season. But of course, guys, don't forget, it's from that resulting corner that we get our equalising goal. And Olmo here whips it into the box. And we've seen this quite a few times this season. Barca, they're looking for that flick on. They're looking there for somebody at the near post. It's Ferran there in that position. Wonderful little flick on. He's hoping there's somebody behind him now is going to attack that ball. And again, it's Eric Garcia. We saw this all the time against Inter in midweek. He's in all the right areas. He's attacking balls inside the penalty area. And yet again today, he had a really big impact on the game. And Barca then, in that moment, get one back. And that was key. There was a clear change there inside the stadium, inside of the mood of the fans, the players as well. And I think Real Madrid were a little bit concerned in that moment too. They understood the shift in momentum that was coming. And from that moment on, we never looked back. Because then it was all about Lamine Yamal. Then it was all about the absolute wizardry of this young man. Because as this ball is played across here, again, Yamal, he's not got a great deal of time. He's not got a great deal of space. And yet, he just picks his spot. You know, Courtois is an excellent goalkeeper. Absolutely wonderful there in these kinds of situations. He has no chance. He has absolutely no chance of getting anywhere near that. Because Yamal has put it exactly where he wanted it. It is a wonderful finish there. Just whipping it around Thibaut Courtois. And I've also got to mention here in the build-up, Pedri ducks. You know, he's actually in front of the goal there. It might actually hit him, but he does really well to duck and get out the way of it. And what I loved about this goal, the celebration there, to equalise the score, 2 goals apiece. We'd all seen what Mbappe did after he scored, then Yamal scores. And again, it's the calmness, it's the confidence. He oozes quality and class, this young man. And you just feel like he's got it under control. A game like this, the stakes as high as they are, again, you just feel as though he's going to see us through. He has got what it takes here to win this game and to give us absolutely everything. And of course, Real Madrid here, in the act of fairness, I'm sure they're going to be unhappy about Frenkie de Jong's part in the goal there. Was it handball on him? That was what they were claiming. It was not given on the field there or by VAR. I think at the end of the day, again, we're always told it's within the shirt. You know, if something hits you there that's actually on your shirt, maybe that's not handball. So Barca there, maybe they got away with one, maybe they didn't, but believe me, it more than evened itself out. In the end, we still came off so much worse in terms of the decisions. But I think from that moment, guys, our tails were up. You know, 2-0 down to get it back to 2-2. There was only one way then this game was going to go. And actually, Mbappe helps us, as does Dani Ceballos. Thank you, both of them there. It's fantastic, just running into each other. It is absolutely beautiful. And the freedom and the space we had here. Pedri has got time to pick his pass to Raphinha wonderfully there into his path. Can he finish it? Of course he can there. Wonderful finish. Slots it to the side of Thibaut Courtois. And Barca then have gotten rid of that 2-0 deficit. They have somehow again come back even before half-time has arrived. And it's so important there that we responded in that way. And very, very early on, we took the game back to Real Madrid. But can we talk about this? Yet again, can we go back to another decision here? Ferran, who was a menace for Real Madrid all day long. They could not handle him. They could not stop him there. Fantastic movement from him. He is brought down. He is clearly brought down. And the referee blows up. He gives a foul. That is a goal-scoring chance. If Ferran there is allowed to get the other side of Tchouaméni, he is in on goal. Nobody's close to him. There is no cover there for Real Madrid. That is a clear and obvious scoring opportunity. That has to be a red. And that's not even close. That is genuinely not even a contentious decision here. Oh, you know, is it a red? Isn't it? It's obvious. It's blatant. It's clear. How is that not given? Tchouaméni gets away with only a yellow card when that was clear to the world that it should have been a red one, and we should have made it there and then. Yamal again with that trademark cross outside the foot, cuts it back there. Brilliant ball into Raphinha, and he heads it over the bar. But Real Madrid did think they had another penalty in this game. You know, Bellingham here, he would eventually be flagged offside, although that's not even the problem. Bellingham was leaning off there. That's what the referee gave. How they make a mess of this, by the way, I don't know. They're in on goal. It's so easy and simple. They really make a mess of it. And maybe Mbappe was so embarrassed by that, he just threw himself to the floor. Because what we're seeing here is a blatant and obvious dive from Mbappe. And by the way, the referee gave that. You know, forget all the offside, forget what came later. The referee gave the penalty for Real Madrid when there is not a single moment where there is contact on him. Frenkie de Jong goes in for the challenge, but then he quickly withdraws himself, makes no contact with Mbappe. It's an embarrassing, blatant dive, and obviously, he did not get booked for that either. Do not fear though, guys, because even then, just before half-time, there was still time for yet another Barcelona goal. And look at the tenacity from Raphinha here, closing down, forcing a mistake from Lucas Vázquez. Very, very bad error from him, but Raphinha's on them. And Real Madrid there, they weren't allowed to breathe as that first half went on. They couldn't get out. We really did suffocate them in every single way. And Ferran, again, he's on hand there just to square it. Raphinha makes it 4-2, and that made it, by the way, an unbelievable hat-trick of assists. 3 assists there in that first half in a Clasico from Ferran Torres. He was absolutely unplayable at times today. Around him, like I say, they could not get near him. They could not handle him. Tchouaméni should have been sent off for the foul on him. And Real Madrid in general at half-time, they were stunned. I mean, to be leading 2-0 in the first half after 15 minutes and to go in 4-2 down. This doesn't happen. These are things in football that we just haven't seen before. We haven't seen a team like Barca be this ruthless in front of goal, whereby they concede, they give you up chances, you're in the game, you feel like you're in the game, and then you're out of the game. And Real Madrid, you could see from the reactions, they were absolutely shell-shocked. 2 goals for Mbappe, he thought that he had it all, and then he had nothing. Now, in the second half, guys, we did see a few changes, of course, start to appear there for Barca. Alejandro Balde making his eagerly awaited return. Also, Andreas Christensen coming on there in the second half. Kubasi went off with a little bit of a knock, and we did make a mistake. Real Madrid did find their way in behind. And what I want to mention here is the incredible defensive nature of Andreas Christensen. First of all, he has incredible pace, actually, to keep up with Vinicius. Breaking there, he really does keep pace with him. And the block, the sliding block there to prevent what would have been an absolutely certain goal there. He just squared it to Mbappe, but it's a brilliant intervention from Christensen. But we did concede. And ultimately, in this game, you kind of felt as though it's going to happen. We were still very much wide open. Real Madrid still did create so many huge opportunities against us. And this one right here, we give it away cheaply. We're all at sea again. And it's very simple. It's a square pass from Vinicius to Mbappe. We've seen that all game long. And Real Madrid there, again, are within 1 goal. And I think the issue was here, we should have been further ahead. I mean, we had many, many chances here to actually score more. And even Yamal after the game said, it's great, I'm happy that I scored. I'm happy that we won. We could have scored more, though. And there was a really great chance here. Again, Yamal being the provider. Amazing cross that he puts into the box. Raphinha's charging and he's flying in here and he puts it over the bar in the end. That would have been his hat-trick goal, actually. It's quite incredible how many players were in and around hat-tricks in today's game. And then, though, came this. And like I say, my head is still on Mars. My head is still absolutely gone here, because I do not understand anything anymore. In terms of referees and La Liga, I just don't get it. If this isn't a handball, then what is? Because then we're going to talk later about Fermin's handball that they gave against him. But this one, oh no, this one can't be a handball. Why? I just don't get it here. Tchouaméni is directly in front of his goal. Now, I know Ferran hits this with power. I know that he's not far away from him. But is the arm by the side? Is it tight to his body? Is it behind his back? No, it's outstretched there. He's got it a little bit raised, and he blocks the ball from going in the goal. It's a clear handball. It's one that is obvious again. Anybody that sees this. And why do we have VAR? What is the point? If we're going to go over, look at it 10 times on a screen, see what we're all seeing at home, and you still make the wrong decision. I mean, it is absolutely mind-boggling what is going through the minds here of the referees. Because, yeah, again, we look at the final goal there, the final moment, the winning moment. I absolutely loved it. I was really hoping, actually, that we were going to have another goal like from Kessie. Remember, of course, when he scored the goal to win the league, basically, in the Clasico. I wanted one of those moments to celebrate with the fans. And we got one. Absolutely wonderful goal. World-class goal from Fermin Lopez. The celebrations were unreal. Jumps over the advertising hoardings. All the players there behind the goal. It's amazing. It is what football is all about. The celebrations, absolutely wonderful. And then again, they're looking for a way. How can we disallow this goal? How can we keep Real Madrid somehow here in the game? I mean, what kind of mental gymnastics are they doing to actually make these decisions here? Because then, yeah, they find that one is handball. And I just don't get it, guys. And that's why ultimately here, I don't want to ruin the spirit of this game. I don't want to ruin the celebrations, the feeling that we should be having right now. Because ultimately, no matter what happened to us, we got the job done. We found a way to win. We overcame all of this nonsense to make it happen. But it shouldn't be this way. You know, this is not acceptable. We have to talk about this. We have to highlight this because this is not the way that a league should be run. This is not the way that we should actually contest these games whereby we're actively fighting against refereeing decisions. But hey, who's going to be the champions? Who is going to win the La Liga title? We now are 7 clear. That is 7 clear. With just 3 games of the league season to go, Real Madrid's title hopes now, they have all but evaporated. And there's nothing they can do about that. There is nothing that Real Madrid can do. There is nothing that Florentino Perez can do. There is nothing that Kylian Mbappe can do. And above all else, there is nothing La Liga can do. Barca run this league. Barca are going to win this title. And you are all going to have to deal with it. What a day it was. What a win. And what a team. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Let me know the emotions that you're feeling. I tell you what, today, Travis Scott enjoyed himself, didn't he? What a celebration he was having there in the stands. I'm sure he's hooked now. He is Barca for life after a game like this. But what are you feeling? What is running through your veins? What is running through your mind after this game? And yet again, you can probably hear it. My voice is on its way out. You know, I need the season to end. I need some sort of a break here. The voice is not going to take it anymore. But who cares? Barca have done it. And we are all but champions. I will see you guys soon. If the voice lets me continue the analysis, it will be on the way for all of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Soak up the emotion, soak up the feeling, and enjoy. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.